चलो, let me ask you the question of the theories that we have completed in last lecture. Are you ready? Okay. First of all, gift received. Chalo, question number 1. Gift received by Mr. A from his friend, rupees 35,000. Whether it is taxable or not. Gift received 35,000 by Mr. A from his friend, whether it is taxable or not. So I got 2 reply. Deepak, Priyanka, Rudra, the 3 replies. Yes. No, no. अभी अगर तुम लोग कोई अगर आता है तो बोलना पहले. चलो. Gift received 35,000 by Mr. A from his friend, whether it is taxable or not. Okay, not taxable, not taxable. But online students, some of the students are saying taxable. Chalo, give me the reasons why it is not taxable. It will be taxable, okay? Chalo, give me the reason whether why it is not taxable. You told. Okay. Any other reply? Chalo. Any other reason? First of all, let me clarify. Gift is your income. Gift will be your income. Why? Because you are receiving something out of love and affection. Okay? It is now the owner will be the person who are receiving it. Okay? For example, I am giving you 1 lakh rupee. So why I am giving you 1 lakh rupee? Because I am giving you because you will be the rightful owner. Now onwards, this 1 lakh rupee belongs to you, and this 1 lakh rupee you want to use wherever you want to. Okay? Now you will be the willful and willingful owner. I am giving you out of love and affection. That's okay. So it is your income. First of all, I am not giving you loan. Okay? If I am giving you loan, then it will not be considered as income. I am giving you gift first of all. So it will be your income. But Rudra Dutt, I think, yes, Rudra Dutt has given the correct answer. The amount is 35,000 rupees, and it is below the limit, 50,000 rupees. It is below the limit. In last lecture, we have discussed that amount received up to 50,000 rupees, you are not supposed to pay any tax on movable property. Right? Are you getting this? Now, in this example, Mr. A received 55,000 rupees. Mr. A received 55,000 rupees from his friend. Now, whether it will be taxable or not. Whether it will be taxable or not. Chalo, raise your hand and give me the reply. Online students, write down your reply in chat box. Mr. A from his friend, but amount is 55,000 instead of 35,000. Now, What will be your answer? Whether it will be taxable or exempt? Hello? It's very simple. Na? Yes, it will be taxable. Why? Because amount received is 55,000. It exceeds 50,000. Now, how much amount is taxable? This type of question will be there, okay? From IFOS, this type of question will be asked in MCQ, in 1 mark, in 4 marks. The full amount is taxable, 55,000. The limit is 50,000. If you cross the limit, the whole amount is taxable. It means you are supposed to pay tax on 55,000 rupees. Is it clear now? Chalo. Now, Mr. A has received 55,000 rupees from his father, whether it is taxable or not. Okay. Anyone saying taxable? Chalo. So I know there is no display. I am asking you questions. Okay, this is question answer round, Brian. So you are supposed to listen me only. Okay. No screen is there. Yes, Rudradat, correct answer. But earlier you have given the wrong answer. Not 5,000, 55,000 is taxable. Okay. Now, chalo. Gift received from relative. Father is relative. Father will be considered in the definition of relative. That's why it will not be taxable. Clear? Now, I have received jewelry of 75,000 rupees. I have received jewelry of 75,000 rupees from my friend, whether it is taxable or not. I have received jewelry of 75,000 rupees from my friend, whether it will be taxable or not. Raise your hand and give me the reply. Online students, write down in chat box. Yes. Either it will be taxable or not. Chalo. Is this your first lecture? Yes. That I know. Chalo. Okay, I got reply from Rudradat, Dilip, Deepak, Priyanka, Brian, Uttam. All of you are saying taxable. Chalo, offline. First of all, jewelry will be considered in the definition of property or not. That you have to clarify. Jewelry will be considered in the definition of property. So the answer is yes. Why? Because I have given you 7 exceptions of personal asset. Jewelry, drawings, paintings, archaeological collection, any work of art. Okay? So this will not be considered as personal asset. It means it will be considered as your capital asset. It is your property. So transfer of property is taxable. Now, by whom I have received it? Friend. So friend will be considered as my relative. So answer is no. Friend is not in the definition of relative. So now I have to check the amount, whether it is below 50,000 or above 50,000. So amount is 75,000. So yes, sir. all the conditions are satisfied, it means 75,000 will be taxable. All of you have given the correct answer, but in one line only. Chalo. Next question. Mr. A has received 1 lakh rupee cash from his friend. 1 lakh rupee cash from his friend on marriage, on his marriage. Taxable or not taxable? Chalo. Friend gift from whom Mr. A has received. Friend, amount is 1 lakh rupee cash, but on the occasion of marriage, whether it will be taxable or not. It is on. Because in marriage, any gift received is not taxable. Dilip is saying it's one type of gift. Yes, it is one type of gift. But whether it is taxable or not, that is the issue. Hello. Answer is not taxable. Why? Because it is received on the occasion of marriage. That's why it will not be taxable. Chalo. Mr. A has received gift from his friend rupees 1 lakh on birthday. On his birthday. Whether it will be taxable or not. Mr. A received 1 lakh rupee from his friend. Taxable or not? Occasion is birthday party. Chalo. I got reply from offline students. What about online? Okay. Chalo. All of you are correct. It is taxable. Why? Because gift is received from his friend 1 lakh rupee and occasion is birthday. All the conditions are satisfied for taxability. That's why it is taxable. Now, Mr. A has received 1 lakh rupee on his birthday but from his grandfather. Whether it will be taxable or not. Okay, very good. Chalo. So all of you have given the correct answer. So what I want to know is concept is clear or not? When it will be taxable and when it will be exempt. Done? Chalo, one last question. I have received 40,000 on my marriage anniversary from Mr. B, one of my friend. Marriage anniversary from my friend, amount 40,000 rupees. Whether it will be taxable or not. Okay. Chris, it is gift. Okay, we are talking about gift only. It's about the taxability, whether it will be taxable or not. Yes. So it is received on anniversary. So it will be taxable. It is received from friend. So it will be taxable. But amount is less than 50,000, it means less than threshold limit. So it will be exempt. Very good, Brian. All of you have given the correct answer except, no, I think Deepak. Dilip, okay. Chalo. Let's begin with, yes. Yes. Oh, first of all, your last module in this semester is income tax return filing. Okay, in which it is clearly written that first return is filed by you on self-assessment basis. Self-assessment means we have to assess ourselves. Okay, and we have to file our return. So, for example, it's your birthday. Okay, you have received 10 lakh rupees, but in cash from your friends. So it's upon you to declare that I have received 10 lakh rupees or not. But you haven't declared now, okay? And you have filed your income tax return without declaring that I have received 10 lakh rupees. But income tax department come to the notice that this person has received 10 lakh rupees on bill, but he has not disclosed the income return of income. So he will give you the notice. There are various sources. For example, you have received check from your friend and you have deposited 10 lakh rupees in bank account. So from bank account, it will come to the notice that 10 lakh rupees you have received from your friend. Okay? But if it is received on the basis of cash, then it is very difficult to identify that whether you have actually received or not. Or sometimes wait in your premises, income tax department will come and ask you, this, you have 10 lakh rupees, what is the source of this income? So you told him that I have received on my birthday from my friends. So they will ask you for income tax return, whether you have shown this 10 lakh rupees on your income tax return, yes or no. So you will directly say, no sir, I have shown. So they will provide the notice that he disclose this 10 lakh rupee and pay the interest, pay the tax, pay the interest, pay the penalty. All this. Done? He asked me that who will decide that whether it is shown or not. It is shown in the return of income or not. So this will be included in your last module. Last module return filing, income tax return filing. So you have to file your income tax return and on self-assessment basis you disclose that I have received this income. Okay? He asked me that sir, who will decide that it is disclosed or not? Who will come to know if I do not disclose it? So for example, if I have received 2 lakh rupees check from my friend on my birthday, so I will deposit 2 lakh rupees in bank, so it will be shown in my past. So PAN card is attached with the bank account. Na? If you receive in cash, then you have to be ethical and you have to show it. And gift income is exempt from your relatives, and most probably relatives will give you the gift only. Okay? But it's on self-assessment basis. First, you have to file your return of income, and then if income tax department comes to the notice that you haven't shown the correct amount, then they will provide you the notice. Done? That we will discuss in detail, but in last module, income tax return filing. Sir, kindly. Okay. All the students have equal right to learn. Whether it is online or offline, that is secondary matter. That's not primary thing. Okay. Chalo. Let's begin with the new concept. Chalo. If any income neither covered by 4 heads of income, if any income neither covered by 4 heads of income, nor it falls under section 56 subsection 2 that we have already completed. Section 56 subsection 2. If any income neither considered in first 4 heads, means salary, house property, PGBP, capital gain, and nor it is considered in section 56 subsection 2, then it will be taxable under the head section 56 subsection 1. Section 56 subsection 1. It is in the income from other sources, but section 56 subsection 1. 4 heads of income. First one, salary. Second one, house property. Third one, profit and gains from business and profession. Your last module of semester 4 and first module of this semester, capital gain. And this is your second module, 5th head, IFRS. Clear? We have repeated n number of times these 5 heads of income. Let it be. Chalo. Chalo, first point. Any fees or commission received by an employee from the person other than his employer. Other than his employer. Any fees or any commission received by person other than the employer. Employer means the person who have given the job. Now, for example, I am an employee of HDFC Bank, for example, and I have received commission or fees from other person. Other person means other than HDFC Bank. So it will be taxable under which head? It will be taxable under income from other sources. But if I have received it from HDFC Bank, then salary. Clear? So if I have received from employer, then it is salary. It is covered. It will be covered in salary. But I have received from other person other than employer, so it will be taxable under IFRS. Now, any annuity received under a will, it doesn't include an annuity received by an employee from his employer. Any annuity that we have discussed in salaries head. Okay, annuity received by employee from employer, it is covered in salaries head. But it is received under a will. Will means inheritance. So it will be taxable under income from other sources. All interest other than interest on securities, that is interest on bank deposit, interest on loan, all these will be covered under the head IFRS. No, that we will discuss in 56 subsection 2. Anything received under a will and inheritance, I have told you that it is exempt. But if it is not received from the relatives, then income from tenant, from subletting, subletting the whole or part of the house property. Now, I have given my house property on rent to Mr. A. Now, Mr. A sublet. Sublet means he has also given the house property on rent to another person, to Mr. B. I have given to Mr. A. Mr. A has given to Mr. B. Now I have given that is letting out of house property. That is house property income. It will be my house property income. Now Mr. A sublet the house property to Mr. B. That will be considered under the income from other sources. Why? Because Mr. A is not the owner. Mr. A is not the owner of house property. Though he has given the house property on rent. So Mr. A has given the house property on rent. Are you getting this? Yes. Mr. A is not the owner. For example, I have given my house property on rent to Mr. A for 10,000 rupees. So he will pay me 10,000 rupees and it will be taxable under my house, under my head, house property, under my income tax return. Done. Now Mr. A has sublet the house property to Mr. B for 15,000 rupees. So 15,000 rupees will be taxable under the IFOS for Mr. A, not for me. By recipient is Mr. A only. Mr. A only. So subletting will be considered over here. Letting out of house property, that is your second head. But subletting will be considered over here. Remuneration received by teacher or lawyer for doing examination work. Now this is very basic example. You are an employee of school for teaching purpose, but if you are doing an examination duty, so it is other curriculum activities. So whatever you received, it will be other source. It will be added in other sources. Income from royalty, director's fees.
Sure.
at the time of salaries. Yes, Brian.
So kindly repeat on point number 4.
I'm not getting your voice clearly.
So I'm saying,
Yes.
throw more light on point number 4.
Sorry? Point
What
number
I'm
4.
asking is, if I
Income from
Yes.
subletting.
Does Mr. B pay taxes? In point number 4.
Whatever I receive, I will pay the tax. Whatever the person to whom I have given the house property, he received, he will pay the tax. On subletting part, he will pay the tax because he has sublet my house property.
Okay.
Done? Chalo. Director's fees that we have discussed at the time of salaries head. Director fees will be considered under IFRS, income from other sources. Why? Because directors and companies, there is no relation of employer-employee. Okay? If it is the relation of employer and employee, then and then it will be taxable under the head salary. Directors are not employee of company. That's why it will be taxable over here. No, it depends upon the contract. Directors are not the employee. Remuneration. Remuneration, not salary. That's why it is given here. Fees. Director will receive the remuneration or fees, not salary. Then it will be then salary. Then salary. If it is clearly written that you are supposed to receive salary, then it will be considered under the salary. But generally, director's income will be considered over here. IFRS. Fees is very broad concept. Either it will be professional fees, technical fees, so many types of fees are there. Okay? Salary means you are an employee of a company, you are receiving something permanently every month for doing a job. Remuneration means you are doing something for company and company is paying you something for that particular work. Done. They are different. Even TDS will be deducted under two different sections. Salary, that is your fourth one. The TDS, tax deducted at source. It will be considered under section 192 and professional fees will be considered under 184J. Okay. Income tax is very wide concept, very wide. Okay. It's very gigantic. Chalo. Rent of land not appertaining to any building. It means simple a land. There is nothing like building. If you are receiving rent from the land, then it will be taxable over here. But sir, if there is building, then house property. No, rent from 9th, na? That we are supposed to do. Look, agricultural income from land situated outside India. For example, my agricultural land situated in Canada. Okay, and I have received any income from outside India from agricultural activity. Then it is taxable over here, IFOS. Not salary, not house property, not PGBP, not capital gain, but here only. Then it is exempt. Agricultural income is exempt. Your module 1, semester 4. Income which do not form part of total income. Income which do not form part of total income. Sorry? Why agricultural income is because agricultural activities are the core activities of India. And in Indian constitution, it is written that you cannot levy any tax on agricultural activity. At the time of independence, Indian constitution has given, it is written on Indian constitution that you cannot charge a single rupee as tax on agricultural activity. That's why agricultural income are exempt, but within India, not outside. Income from markets, ferries, and fisheries. Now, these are the miscellaneous examples. Okay, but if you are a business, if you are in the business of fisheries, then it is taxable under PGBP. Okay, it is quite logical. If you are in the fisheries business, then it is taxable under PGBP, profit and gains from business and profession. But if you are a teacher and you are doing other activities like fisheries and all, and you are earning something, then it is your income from other sources. Your core source of income is if fisheries, then it is taxable under PGBP. Otherwise, it is your other income. Income from leasehold property, remuneration received for writing articles in journal. If you are writing articles in journal, then it is income. But sir, I am writer. Then it is PGBP. Then it is profit and gains from business and profession. If it is your core activity, you are a writer. If Chetan Bhagat is writing something, then it is his core activity. Then it will be taxable in professional income as professional income. Done. Income from undisclosed sources. Undisclosed sources means you haven't disclosed something. Recently, I have given you the example. You have received 10 lakh rupees as gift from your friend, but you haven't disclosed in income tax return. So that undisclosed source will be taxable over here, IFRS. For example, you have 5 kilo gold. Okay. In income tax return, you haven't shown that you have 5 kg gold. But income tax department comes to the notice, he find 5 kgs gold at your home. Then you are supposed to pay the tax on that 5 kg gold. But in which head? Income from other sources. Interest received by an employee on his own contribution to an unrecognized provident fund. 4 types of provident fund: recognized, unrecognized, statutory, and last one, other provident fund. Recognized, unrecognized, statutory, unrecognized provident fund. If you receive any interest, then it is not taxable. Sorry, it is taxable under IFRS, not taxable under the head salaries. It is taxable over here. Casual income. Casual income means lottery, horse race, card games, that we will discuss in next page, casual income. Salaries of MP MLA, member of parliament MLA, because there is also no relation of employee employer, MPs MLAs. For you know the meaning of MP MLA, member of parliament and legislative assembly. Whatever remuneration they are receiving, it will be taxable under IFRS and not under the head salaries. Interest received on securities of cooperative society, gratuity received by director who is not an employee of company, director's commission for giving guarantee to bank, director's commission for underwriting shares of new company. All these are examples of income which will be taxable under the head IFRS and not under the head salary, house property, profit and gains of business and profession and capital. Done. Further, under the provisions of section 60 to 65, an SSC may be chargeable to tax in respect of income arising to other persons, that is, spouse or minor children. Clubbing income, that is separate chapter. Clubbing and set off and carry forward. Clubbing income means income received by any other person, but it belongs to you, so it will be taxable under your head. That will also be taxable under IFRS. In such cases, income in question will be first computed under the appropriate head after allowing various deductions and includable in the total income of the SSE under the head IFRS. In other words, wherever the SSE is taxable in respect of income of somebody else, the income must be charged to tax in the hands of SSE only under this head, even if the income is of the character which would otherwise fall for the assessment under any other head of income. But why the agricultural produce in the Indian markets too expensive? Now, Brian, you are asking the question of economics. Okay, because what is the price in market? It depends upon the economy. Okay, it is the question of economics, and it depends upon the inflation or depression. Okay. Hello. Casual income. Section 56, subsection 2, clause B. Casual income includes income by way of winning from lottery, crossword puzzle, races including horse race, gambling, and betting of any nature, any form, card games, game show, or entertainment program on television or electronic mode, and any other game of any sort. Sir, I won 1 crore rupees in Kaun Banega Crorepati. So, it will be taxable under IFRS. Sir, I won 1 crore rupees from Dream 11 in last match, Bangladesh versus Australia 2020. So, it will be taxable under income from other sources. Clear? Whether it is in electronic mode or whether it is on television, whether it is horse race or any other race, whether it is card game, all types of gambling, betting will be covered under income from other sources, casual income. And what is the rate of tax? Hello, I have given you tax rate. I have given you the rate of taxation. Hello, we have discussed it. Rate of taxation for casual income. I told you that special rate will prevail over normal tax rate. Special rates will prevail over normal tax rate. What is normal tax rate? Chalo. Chalo, what is normal tax rate? Normal tax rate means what? Yes. Progressive rate of tax, basic exemption limit up to 2,50,000, no tax, 5%, 20%, 30%. That is your basic rate, normal tax rate. But casual income will be taxable at the rate 30%. 30, not 10, not 33. 30% tax rate. Lottery held. Now, these are the examples. Lottery held as stock in trade. Winning from lottery to an agent or trader out of unsold stock of lottery tickets shall be treated as incidental to business and taxable under the head PGBP. First of all, if it is permissible, lottery business if is permissible and you are doing lottery business, so it is your PGBP income. So at the end of the year, 31st March, you have stock in trade. Lotteries are in stock, then it will be taxable under the head PGBP. But if it is permissible, lottery income, if it is held as a stock in trade, okay, then and then only. Income of jockey. Income of jockey from such profession is not treated as winning from racehorse. Jockey, do you know the meaning? Person related to horse race. So he is not doing horse race. Okay, he is doing his business. It is his profession. So it will not be treated as winning from horse race and not taxable over here. Hello, winning from motor car rally. Winning from motor car rally is a return of skill and effort and cannot be created as casual income. If you are a professional person and you have skill and you have put effort, then it will not be treated as your casual income and it will be treated as normal income. No deduction or exemption is so these are taxable as normal income. No deduction or exemption is provided in respect of casual income. If you are receiving any casual income, then no deduction is allowed and no exemption is allowed. No deduction can be claimed from such income, even if such expenditure is incurred exclusively for earning such income. Any expenditure you have incurred for earning that particular activity, then also it is not allowed. Labor, rebate. Yes, rebate is also not allowed. Further, deduction under 80C to 80U is also not available. Sir, what is this deduction? Next module. Deduction means you have invested in equity linked mutual fund, you have taken house loan and you are paying interest as well as principal amount as on house loan, as well as if you are paying tuition fees of your children up to 2 children school fees, then you have taken LIC, you have taken Mediclaim, you have donated something, all this will be covered in deductions. So you cannot take benefit of all these things if you have casual income. So this will be covered in your TDS part. Here, from this only. This will be covered in your TDS portion and not over here. And look, casual income is liable for TDS. Casual income is taxable at flat rate, 30%. 30% tax rate plus surcharge plus health and education cess. Plus surcharge and plus health and education cess. Chalo, health and education cess percentage. Right. Health and education cess. Tax deducted at source. Tax deducted at source, TDS. Yes, 4%. Chalo. Which casual income is liable to TDS. TDS means tax deduction at source. That is your separate module. Okay. It is very wide concept and very tricky. TDS is very tricky. Now, the casual income is taxable at the rate 30%. Whatever income you earn, it is taxable at the rate 30%. For example, if I have received 10 lakh rupees casual income from winning from horse race, okay? So 10 lakh multiplied by 30%, 3 lakh will be taxable, plus 4% health and education shares, and plus surcharge if it is applicable, and surcharge will also be payable. Special rates and normal rates. Special rates in long-term capital gain also there is special rate of 20%. No, not for all the heads. I will give you the list, okay? On which income there are special rates. Section 115 is there. It is all about the special rates. Section number 115. Chalo, it's already 10:41. All the online students are requested to write down the enrollment number, okay? I am taking your attendance. Last class. Staff room. Chalo, that's all class. Kushal, Dhanraj, Stephanie, Nicholas, Josh, please write down your enrollment number.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Nicholas.